This is a broadcast of SmallCapVoice.com, a financial communications and investor relations firm. SmallCapVoice.com receives payment for investor relations and financial consulting services that it provides to its clients. You should assume that officers, directors, and employees of SmallCapVoice.com or financial analysts mentioned and their families hold a position and intend to trade in these securities for their own accounts. This is not an offer or recommendation to buy or sell securities. Information in this broadcast is presented solely for informative purposes and is not intended to be, nor should it be construed as, investment advice. As in all investments, an investment in the featured company carries an investment risk. Listeners should review the company thoroughly with a registered investment advisor or registered stockbroker. This broadcast does not purport to be a complete study of the featured company or other companies mentioned. Information used and statements of fact have been obtained from the featured company and other sources but not verified nor guaranteed by SmallCapVoice.com as to completeness or accuracy. Such information is subject to change without notice.
You're wired in. SmallCapVoice.com. Following is a presentation of SmallCapVoice.com, today's leader in investor relations, capital formation, and retail support. Now, with your online business briefing, SmallCapVoice.com's Stuart T. Smith.
Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us here once again at SmallCapVoice.com, the home of the online business briefing, where we showcase some of the smartest picks in the microcap and small cap stock space. We're joined today for the very first time by Fresh Start Private Management Incorporated. They're traded under the ticker symbol on the OTCQB, CEYY. We're joined today by the Chief Operating Officer of the company, Mr. Brady Granier. Brady, how are you today?
Excellent, Stuart. Thanks for the call.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking time to stop by and speak with us here at SmallCapVoice.com. Now, your shareholders know everything they need to know about your company, but our listeners may not. So for those listeners who aren't familiar with Fresh Start Private Management Incorporated, if you would, tell us a little bit about the business model and market for the company.
Fresh Start Private Management is an alcohol and rehabilitation company that is uniquely positioned in the market. We have developed a program that's a two-pronged approach to treating alcoholism. The company has the exclusive rights in the U.S. and abroad, in most territories, for the formula for a naltrexone implant. And those that aren't familiar with naltrexone is a drug that was FDA approved in 1995 for the treatment of alcoholism. And what it does is it blocks the receptors in the brain that gives you pleasures when you drink. So it reduces or virtually eliminates alcohol cravings. And it's been readily available in oral form and in injection form for the past few years, and the drug works really well. The problem is that many patients aren't compliant with taking their oral or monthly injections because they have to make a decision every day or every month. Do I want my drink or do I want to stay sober? So it's a very tough decision that they have to make. So this implant of naltrexone is overcoming that non-compliance issue. So it's a really cool product in that aspect. So it takes the compliance out of the way. And then after that is done with an outpatient patient procedure, we have a one-on-one coaching program that starts to address the issues of why that particular person drinks in the first place. So the implant is a tool that gives that patient several months of clarity, and they don't have that need to drink physically. And then they can focus on the mental issues of why they drank to begin with. They have to, rewire the brain, so to speak. So it's really a great two-pronged approach. Take away the physical cravings or reduce them significantly, and then work on the mental aspect. And we receive reports from clinics that use our program that patients who actually complete the program have over an 85% success rate. So it's very exciting. And, the world just doesn't know about this program yet. And another aspect of Fresh Start is we focus specifically on the treatment of alcoholism. A lot of other rehab facilities will deal with dual users and multiple users, heroin addicts, etc. We focus primarily on alcoholism, and that's our focus.
Wow, that's fascinating stuff. It sounds like you really cover all the bases in your approach, this two-pronged approach. Well, you're our guest today. Let's learn about you as the Chief Operating Officer, and then we want to learn about the entire management team, as well as any advisory board or consultants for the company. Let's talk about the team there at Fresh Start Private Management.
Well, my background is Well, I actually have a healthcare background. When I graduated college back in '95 out of Louisiana, I became a registered nurse, and I worked in all critical areas: ER, ICU, CCU. I did travel nursing, I did home health nursing, but I always had an entrepreneurial drive. And years later, I moved to Los Angeles and transitioned out of nursing and healthcare and into business, and worked in the internet, and eventually got involved in radio just from mutual friends. And, climbed the ladder at Clear Channel, which is the largest media and entertainment company in the U.S., and became Director of Business Development in the Los Angeles market. And in that role, I came across Fresh Start Private. One of my sales reps had stumbled across them when doing his own due diligence, I believe, for a relative who was suffering from alcoholism, and took it to me and said, "Hey, I want you to come on this appointment with me for a new business prospect." And he told me about it, and I just thought it was nonsense. I'd never heard of naltrexone when I was a nurse, and so this was all new to me, and I was intrigued. So I went there and saw what they were all about, and started digging in a little bit more, and was very intrigued with what they were doing, and talked to patients who were treated. And I got to tell you, when you talk to people who have gone through this program and you hear how it changed their life, it's hard not to want to get involved. And that's what happened to me. I invested heavily in the company, a few years ago, so I have a lot of skin in the game. And over time became friends with the founder, Neil Muller, who I'll talk about next. And, we became close friends, and he knew that I had the company's best interest at heart, and asked if I would want to come on board. And it was a big decision for me to make. I'd been in Clear Channel for 11 or 12 years, big company, solid paycheck. But I believed in this product, and I saw what it did, so I decided to take the leap, and here we are. I view Fresh Start as, it's been around for a few years, but there's been a lot of revamping going on in recent months, and to me, I view it as a startup as of the beginning of this year. But going back to Neil Muller, he's our founder and co-founder and president. Neil is kind of the heart and soul of the company. He came across this technology back in Australia, where he's from. His wife was an alcoholic, and she received the implant from a different doctor who was doing it in Western Australia at the time, and still does today. And it changed their life. And so Neil, just like everyone else who comes across this, was so interested in taking this to the masses and helping more people that he eventually got access to receiving an implant and started Fresh Start Private in Australia. And then a few years later, he had the opportunity to take it to the U.S., and here we are today. I think back in 2009, he moved to the U.S. and tried to get the company, or started to get the company going here. He is a great guy, loves to help people. I mean, he's the story behind the company and how it came to the U.S., and that's Neil Muller. Moving on to Lourdes Felix, she is our CFO, and Lourdes she joined us in October of 2012. She has a lot of experience when it comes to publicly traded companies, the SEC regulations, Sarbanes-Oxley. That is her expertise. She was actually one of the auditors to Fresh Start in the past, and so she started seeing what the company was doing, and again, it's infectious, and she wanted to come over and work for the company as well. So that's how Lourdes came on board. She's been a great asset to the company, and we're happy to have her. And recently, I think it's a couple of days ago, we announced that we have a new CEO, Kent Emery. George Andrade, the former CEO, voluntarily stepped down and remains on the board of directors, which is great because now we have a non-executive board member. George knew Kent Emery, and he thoroughly believed that Kent was the man to come on and take this company to another level. Kent has many years of experience in the healthcare industry. He's been very successful in acquiring troubled, skilled nursing and rehab facilities and turning them into very profitable entities. He's got a lot of experience with healthcare reimbursement entities and negotiating with government contracts, HMOs, Medicare, Medicaid, VA, and military, contracting and billing. He's very skillful in creating policies and procedures, and we're excited to have Ken on board. He is a great asset to this company. He's just getting kind of all of his ducks in a row now and getting up to speed with everything, and we expect a lot of great things from Kent in the months ahead.
Well, very good. Sounds like a well-rounded as well as experienced management team. And with these companies, listeners, what are we always looking for? A better mousetrap, a better management team, and revenue streams. And it sounds like we're getting a really good time, or we're hitting on a really good time to be speaking with Fresh Start Private Management Incorporated. Well, Brady, tell us about the history of the company as it relates to, let's say, 2013 and 2012. Tell us about some of the major achievements for the company.
Well, 2013 so far has been a great year. To go over 2012 first for a second, one of the major milestones in 2012 was the completion of a 27 million share buyback. That was a great event, and we were able to put those shares back into the Treasury and to increase the value of the shareholders. Also in 2012, we started the process of selling a few licensed territories, which if people read some of the news recently, you would see those releases on those territories. But that process started in 2012 and carries on into this year. Now, in 2013, there's been a lot of stuff going on. We have established a more rounded and balanced board of directors. We have now 5 members, and as I mentioned earlier, Mr. Andrade is the chairman of the board, and he's a non-executive board member, so we have him to give us some that outside perspective and oversight on the company and what we're doing. So we expanded on the board. We've also had back-to-back, the 2 best quarters we've ever had in Q1 and Q2 ever in the history of the company. So that was very exciting, and we hope for that to continue and to grow upon that. So, Stuart, as you can see, we had a great 2013 to date, and we expect that to continue throughout the rest of the year because we have a few months left to it.
Well, very good. That's an excellent segue into my next question, which is, what are the goals for the company here in the remainder of 2013 and beyond?
Well, in the immediate future, we would like to see the other clinics that we have agreements with coming online in the next month or so. We have Northern California, and there's a planned clinic opening in San Francisco in that territory. There is a planned opening in Nebraska as well as in Phoenix, Arizona area. So we have those 3 clinics which can be opening their doors at any day now. So we're very excited to have them get started and give them the support they need to be successful. We're also in talks. We have a letter of intent for the country of Mexico. So we're in discussions with an entity in Mexico, and those are going well, and that would be a tremendous opportunity for us to expand into Mexico. There's 150 million people in the country of Mexico. So Mexico would be a huge opportunity for us in the near future. And then, of course, perhaps next year we could be moving on into other countries. But back in the U.S., obviously, our main goal right now is to get these other 3 licensees up running, giving us a bigger footprint in the U.S. It's very important for us to be spread out geographically so that we can start do more national marketing and PR and make this program more accessible to U.S. citizens. And we'd like to have everyone be 2 hours away from getting this procedure in terms of hopping on a flight. And we're getting there. And so that's our goal, is to get the distribution arm out there so we can help more people. Because it's a very exciting business where there's an opportunity for growth and to be very profitable, but also help a lot of people in society. It's a really it's a good feeling situation to be in. It's a rare thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what makes this even more exciting.
Yeah, absolutely, and I love these kind of opportunities, listeners. It reminds me back when, remember how good we all felt with the green energy things that were happening in 2007, 2008. We loved the idea of, hey, let's take care of the environment and make $1 or $2 as well. Well, it seems so close to that. In a totally different way, Fresh Start Private Management, instead of taking care of the earth, is taking care of the people on earth, and it's an opportunity to make money. And one thing I want to point out was a press release that just came out in late August. Fresh Start Private Management expands operations in the Northern California and Midwest region. So, Brady, this really bears fruit to the truth that you're laying out for us here. The company is expanding already, and so it's further expansion that you just want to see from the company going forward.
Yeah, that is correct. We need to expand. We want to expand. Ultimately we want to help more and more people. I mean, depending on which study you look at, there's anywhere from 10 to 20 million U.S. citizens who struggle with alcoholism. Different studies say different things, but it's about the 10 to 20 million number. And on top of that, alcohol-related issues account for about $100 to $200 billion cost to society annually. So the fortunately and unfortunately, the market is there. Now, there's a huge opportunity out there for us to help more people and produce profit. We did, when I was at my days at Clear Channel, we actually did a survey for Fresh Start Private with about 11,000 people in the Southern California market. And it was shocking that of those 11,000 people, 2/3 of them said that they knew someone very close to them that they considered to be an alcoholic. I mean, just to give you an idea of what the market is, it's bad, but it's reality. Almost everyone knows someone who could be an alcoholic. So when we're marketing out there, we're really marketing to everyone, not just the alcoholics. We're marketing to the family members and the friends, because as we see, most people know someone that can use our program.
That's a great point.
Again, it's very exciting that there's that opportunity, and sad at the same time, because you have so many people struggling with this addiction, and our goal is to put ourselves out of business, I guess.
Yeah, well, listeners, I want you to learn more about this company. They've got a great, informative website, freshstartprivate.com. You can also reach out to their investor relations. That's Maximum Performance Advisors Incorporated at 858-381-4677. This is just the first of, I hope, many audio interviews with the company Fresh Start Private Management. We want to find out how things are going as they progress into their business model. But, Brady, thank you so much for your time here today at SmallCapVoice.com.
Stuart, I appreciate you taking the time.
All right, for Brady Granier, this is Stuart Smith saying thanks so much for listening.
SmallCapVoice.com, today's leader in investor relations, capital formation, and retail support, provides its clients with the highest level of service. Our audio interviews are disseminated to one of the largest opt-in audiences available today. How? We at SmallCapVoice.com believe in aligning and affiliating ourselves with other leaders within the investor relations community. By sharing resources, each affiliated firm is made that much stronger, and each client is served that much better. Our focus is to identify and provide the very best financial services and solutions available to clients and their shareholders. For more information about our services, please call us at 512-267-2430 or visit us on the web at www.smallcapvoice.com.